Possum coming knocking?
Yeah.
Okay, ready? You gotta pay attention. Possum coming knocking at the door, at the door. Possum coming knocking at the door. Granny was a sitting and a rocking and a knitting when a possum coming knocking at the door. Ma was busy cooking in the kitchen making taters when a possum coming knocking at the door. Pa was busy fixing and a banging and a pounding when a possum coming knocking at the door. Pappy was a whittling making play toys for the baby when a possum coming knocking at the door. Pappy. Sis was tossing baby while Pappy was a whittling when a possum coming knocking at the door. Brother was untangling all the twiny line for fishing while Sis was tossing baby and Pappy was a whittling. And Pa was busy fixing and Ma was busy cooking and Granny was a knitting when a possum come a knocking at the door. Goondog was a twitching and a scratching in the corner when a possum come a knocking at the door. Tomcat started sniffling and a spitting and a hissing when a possum come a knocking at the door. What's that, Sis said. Don't know, Brother said. What's that, Pa said. Don't know, Granny said. But the cat, she said. That cat ought to go. Then Dog started sniffling and a pawing and a growling while the cat, tail twitching, was a hissing and a howling, making Granny stop a knitting and Pappy stop a whittling and Baby start a fussing and Sis and Brother start a cussing. 'Cause a little possum was a knocking at the door. What's that? Granny said. Don't know, Pappy said. What's that? Ma said. Don't know, Pa said. Then I creepy crossed the floor and peeked under the door. It's a possum coming knocking on the door, I said. It's a possum coming knocking on the door. Then Brother came a leaping and Sis came a running and Baby came a crawling and Dog started howling and Pappy was a chuckling and Granny's eyes was twinkling. As Ma followed Pa to the door. Now hush, Pa said. Now hush, Ma said. And slowly Pa opened up the door. Now y'all stop your hollering, your fussing, and your cussing, 'cause there's nothing that's a knocking at the door. No possum, Pappy said. No possum, Pa said. No possum, Granny said. No possum, Ma said. Then we all started doing like before. Granny was a sitting while Pappy was a whittling. Ma was a cooking while Pa was a fixing. Brother was untangling while Sis was tossing baby. Goondog was a scratching while Tomcat was a licking. And I was just a sitting and a looking out the window when I saw what I saw scoot up the old oak tree. A possum was a scooting and a scrambling and a dangling. That possum that was knocking made a fool out of me.